highest-ranking positions in the kingdom. It's a profession that only accepts the best among the combat-oriented classes. Roger walks through the assembled applicants while a few of them state at him and makes his way to the very front. Roger loudly announces that he is a training officer and the examiner for the night exam. Giving his yap session, he explains that all the applicants must have their reasons for wanting to be elected, be it politics, money, glory, or any number of reasons. However, he makes it clear that the order of the knights does not care about their reasons. Only the truly capable ones can succeed. They all listen to him yap on with a blank face till Roger mentions that once they pass the exam, they'll receive the title of knight, a status equivalent to that of a baron. All of their faces light up in excitement, and Roger continues. The title of a baron is nothing but a humble beginning. The accepted knights will have the chance to make their way up the ranks through their contributions and become an upper-class aristocrat. The possibilities are endless. The only thing that'll determine if they go that far are their capabilities. Roger raises his hand in the air, and all the applicants do the same, yelling out in excitement while Live tries to figure out what kind of circus he has ended up in. The exam begins, and all the applicants start demonstrating their potential. Meanwhile, Roger sits at the side with his assistant and confirms the records of all the applicants one by one. The assistant comes across the Live's application and finds it odd that there is no class mentioned. She informs Roger and assumes that it must be an incomplete application and calls out to Live. Stepping up, Live confirms that the form is complete and explains that, even though he did the ascension process, he was not assigned any class at all. Baffled that he doesn't have a class, she asks again, and Live has piqued his interest and allows him to take part in the exam. The assistant tries to object, but Roger just tells her to go back to the kitchen. Right then, a guy steps up from the crowd and openly starts mocking everyone. He says that the standards of the night exams must have fallen for them to allow a classic bomb like Live to take the exam. Roger asks his assistant about the identity. Live yet again, saying that he must be really unlucky to be matched up against him. He uses magic to summon a fire lance, revealing that he's a mage class. Everything clicks, and Live remembers that the Bentleys are a well-known lineage of mages, but his thoughts are interrupted by a direct attack. Logan flicks his fingers, and the lance goes flying towards Live at a speed that even shocks Roger. He laughs at the massive explosion, thinking that Live's finished, but to his shock, Live stood there unharmed. Live managed to cut the fire lance away, and Logan almost pissed himself in fear. The crowd watches in shock while a woman, watching from a nearby balcony, smirks at how effortlessly Live blocked that lucky lance attack. It turns out that Live used Celestial Boost just in time, and that had boosted his reflexes, magical ability, and strength greatly. Finding the spell to be incredible, Live struggles to believe how someone like him was able to defend against such a fast and powerful attack. Meanwhile, Roger is just dumbfounded watching the two applicant units fighting and dishing out advanced spells like it's nothing. Even the other applicants struggle to wrap their heads around how someone could cut through a fire lance with such ease. Logan
back to you.
and accepts that Live is strong, but immediately gets back on his nonsense, insulting Live.
And I said back to you.
A person like him can use skill. Still, Logan is confident as ever.
I said back to you. Do you want to catch his hands?
That Live could never beat him since he has already mastered top-tier skills. Proclaiming himself to be a genius, Logan smiles like a psycho, and Live simply watches the dude lose his mind. Finally, Logan gets an idea and decides to use another incredible skill that he's sure Live won't be able to block. Countless projectiles form in the sky as Logan draws his sword and gets ready to launch them all. With a single swing, he sends all the fire lances flying towards Live,
Do you want to catch your hands?
Roger realizes that not only divine protection can protect Live from an attack like that, and yells out that the match is over. However, before Roger could even complete the sentence, Live survived the attack, activating the celestial system. The attack causes tears through the walls of the training grounds and knocks Logan down. Logan finds it impossible that Live can use the celestial blade, a skill that belongs to the Holy Knights. Barely getting back on his feet, Logan only gets angrier as his attacks have worked on Live, or even caused a bit of damage. His frustration only grows at the fact that the jobless Live has the skills of a Holy Knight, and Logan completely goes off the rails. He yells out in anger and announces that he hasn't even used the last of his abilities, yet so Live better not get too cocky. Lunging forward, Logan creates a whole-ass dragon with his magic and unleashes its fiery breath. The attack is so devastating that even Roger has to use some defensive magic. Logan isn't holding back at all, and Roger is left wondering if he's actually trying to kill life. Meanwhile, Logan lets out a laugh, proudly showing off his power and declaring that he has won the match. Unfortunately for him, Lion jumps through the smoke completely unharmed. Logan panics and starts firing off fire lances at the rapidly approaching Lion, who cuts through all of them and lands a devastating blow. Logan's ring shatters as Live's attack sends him flying into the wall, causing immense destruction. Once dust settles, Rogers finds Logan out cold amid the rubble and announces that the victory goes to Live Wellesley. A comically large bear attacks two helpless kids and things are looking over for them. Out of nowhere, Sarah comes flying through and slays the beast with just one attack. The kids watch in awe as Sarah checks up on them to make sure that they're unharmed. They bow down to her as a sign of gratitude, and Sarah gets off words telling them that it was not a big deal. The younger kid asks if Sarah is a knight, and upon hearing a yes, his eyes light up with admiration. The kid expresses his wish to become a knight as well when he grows up, and Sarah assures him that he'll mature into an excellent knight. Looking up at the sky, she thinks of life and how he'll turn out to be an exceptional knight as well. Back at the winter, and the medics rush to make sure that Logan didn't get his ass whooped into oblivion. Logan's knocked out cold with his mouth wide open like an absolute buffoon. Meanwhile, all the other applicants start blazing live over how amazing his skills are. Most of them had never seen the abilities of a holy knight in action before, and the fact that he managed to beat Logan, the heir of a prestigious family, with such ease only amazes them further. Live, on the other hand, learns that his final attack on Logan was a direct punch, so now he has unlocked all of Logan's abilities. The goddess voice informs him that he can now use Fire Lance Rain, and Dragon Breath skills. After yoinking all of Logan's skills, Lion snaps back to his senses and rushes to check up on Logan. Since it was the first time Lion had used the Holy Knight skills, he wasn't able to properly control the damage output, and that worries him as Logan could be seriously hurt. Thankfully, Logan survived and isn't seriously injured, but his pride, on the other hand, is in complete shambles. Roger happily looks at Lion, judging by how he humbled the lil